Hey, Shalom. Hey, Shalom, Shalom. I want to start by saying Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawshai. Kahalamna Hawa, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Kakudash. And also double honor to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders Grand Milton who rule well. And also Shalom to sincere Akimade pushing truth in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Kakudash, who happen to be scattered around the four corners of the earth. And I'm back here again with a lesson. And this lesson is going, basically quick lesson going into
Indonesia.
the news, what's happening, and the things to watch out for, man. And of lately, man, it seems this society of East is really about to go down. With what's going on, man. Like today, I just happened to go watch a movie, The Fantastic Four, and you watch that movie. Okay, you see how Galacticus, when he was about to come on Earth to destroy it, how they in the movie they kept pushing. He's passing these galaxies. He's passing these it's galaxies or planets. He's passing this planet. He's here. He's this and that. He's about to reach the Earth. And what do you see in the news right now happening, man? Right? You see that chariot, which I believe that's a chariot. If this is not just lying, to cause that blue beam, project to deceive people and lie to people, by pushing that narrative, because you gotta pay attention to Esau, man. These devil's a damn liar, and we know that's gonna take a place, but eventually, though, Yahushua is gonna come back in and do what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna see him. They're gonna see the signs of him coming. Okay, but they're not gonna be able to do nothing anyway about it. Stop him. None of that, man. All right. But anyway, so let's just tap into what's happening right now over there in Indonesia, and then I'm gonna show you a few other things that I think we should we need to watch and see the outcome of it. All right. So real quick, I'm gonna play this video right here, and then I'll get a few precepts on it.
Streets are burning with the outrage of millions of people. What started as largely student-driven protests in Jakarta earlier in the week have spread, with demonstrations even in Denpasar, Bali today. The protests kicked off with students unhappy at pay rises for already highly paid politicians protesting outside Parliament in Jakarta. They turned ugly quickly, with clashes against police, with demonstrators and officers trading tear gas and fireworks, water cannons and rocks. Now, on Thursday came a turning point when an armoured police vehicle was seen speeding towards the crowd. It hit and killed a 21-year-old man. Not a protester, but a rideshare motorcycle driver who was there working. Now, in the 48 hours since, the movement has exploded. The outrage spread to other cities overnight, with large fires lit at the bases of police and politicians. In South Sulawesi, the House of Representatives was torched and 3 people perished there. We'll bring you the latest in 7 News at 6.
Right. Now, you see that, right? Let's go here. It's like, I want to get something here real quick. It's because you gotta realize this, right? The reason why people, of these nations are not too happy is Esau. Okay, Esau is the cause of it. Those high-paid politicians, they're all what? They're all, doing dojo work. Okay, they don't care for the people, But they do the bidding of Esau. Like when you go to Bali, you see how Bali is ran. It's not ran by the locals. It's ran by the outsiders, the Edomites, the ones who got money. Leaving them people over there on our land or our country, making shit money. While the foreigners are making big money, Airbnb, businesses and all that, and then they hire the locals over there and pay them nothing. All right? It's Esau, man. He's the cause of it. Okay? You can say, oh, yeah, no, it's not Esau. It's fucking Esau. All right? You can cry about it. I don't give a shit. It's Esau. He's the when you go to the book of Job 9:24, it tells you. Okay, he's the one who's in charge right now. He's the one who's ruling the earth right now, man. By him being a wicked, guess what? Everybody else is going through it. All right, real quick. Proverbs chapter 28. You know what? Let me leave. I'll come back over there real quick. I'll come back over there. Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 12. When righteous men do rejoice, second, when righteous men do rejoice, there's a great glory. When the wicked rise, a man is hidden. And now we know who is in power is Esau. Okay, he's ruling right now, and people doing too well under his rulership. Okay, in NLT, when godly succeed, everyone is glad, and that's what's going to happen when the righteous is established here on earth by the Israelites, starting with 144,000 men. Okay, under David, Yahushua, who's going to come in and to establish that. When that is done, everybody is going to be happy. Okay, after that 1,000 years are over, everybody's going to be happy apart from Esau. We know he's an end. All right. When the godly succeed, everyone's glad. When the wicked take charge, people go into hiding. Okay. And now I want to get another one. Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right. And if the righteous people are in authority right now, the people will be rejoicing. Okay. But not so, because the righteous are not in authority right now. But when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. And that's what we're seeing right now. The wicked are in authority right now. They're ruling. So that's why people are mourning and going through it. Okay? Let's come back here. Proverbs 28 and verse 3. A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food. And that's what the politicians over there in Indonesia are doing. They're already fucking poor as well. You still don't give shit about them. He's just using you. Okay? And you're already oppressing your own people, which are poor. It's a poor man who's being given power to rule over another poor man and oppressing another poor man. It's crazy. Okay? He in NLT says, a poor person who oppresses the poor is like a pounding rain that destroys the crops, man. And that's what the leaders, politicians over there in Indonesia, over there in Bali. That's what you're really doing, man. Let's go from there. In the book of Job, Job chapter. Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficient, he shall be in straits. Like we're talking about Esau, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So, like I mentioned before, Esau being in the rulership right now. Well, what's happening on Esau is happening to these heathens. Okay? Because they're under what? They're under the influence of Esau. They're doing his bidding. In the AMP says, in the fullness of his excess great abundance, he will be in trouble. Esau is going to be in trouble, and the ones who's under you are going to be in trouble. And that's why we see why people are raised up over there, who are not happy. The hand of everyone who suffers will come against him. He's miserable on every side. In the NLT, in the midst of plenty, they will run into trouble and be overcome by misery. And when you look up the word wicked here, it ain't talking about wicked as is being unrighteousness. It's talking about workers. Okay? Here, a laborer. You see? Somebody, worker. Laborer, workman. And that's what you see happening over there in Bali, man. Okay? That laborer, that is misery, had taken labor, wicked workman. And that's what we're seeing over there in Bali. Now let's go from there. Okay? The regular precept we bring out daily, right? Matthew 24 and verse you know what? I want to get this here in I think it's in the book of Luke, right? Right. Luke 21 and 9. But when But when you hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But it's like, but the end is not by and by, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. Now let's go from there. Let's go from there. What was I gonna get, man? Beautiful, beautiful. Second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou see part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of people in the world, then that's what's happening, man, over there in Bali. Uproars of people. Like I said, it's becoming normal because everybody's going through it. People are not too happy right now, man. Since I mentioned, I gotta get this right here. Matthew 24 verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. People are losing it right now, man. Okay. Coming back here. 2 Ezra 9 and 4. Then shall thou understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest. The end is being made clear right now with all these signs that we're seeing daily, man. This is it. We're here. There's no turning back. East is gonna try to come in and lie to you, peace and safety. It's not gonna fix anything, man. Okay. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the war and them that do the ring. For sword and their destruction. Excuse me. So for the sword and their destruction drew nigh, and one people shall stand up, fight against another, and swords in their hands. This is going to take place, man. We really haven't really seen people lose their fucking mind and start taking one another out. We've seen it. I'll give you an example. Rwanda, the genocide that took place over in Rwanda in 1994, other civil wars over there in Sudan, Congo, Liberia, the list goes on. Okay, and other countries, Papua New Guinea, there's more that we've seen this really take place, but we haven't seen this in these Western countries yet. On a high level, I'm talking about. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, which is what we're seeing over in Indonesia right now. And the cause of their action shall stand in their power. They're rising up against the ones in power right now, man. All right. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because martial law is going to be called in. Streets are going to be shut down. Okay. Travel going to be put to stop. Hey, Bali right now could go into, if this shit goes worse over there in Denpasar, hey man, they could stop. They could stop people going over there for vacation. Because it will be dangerous for tourists to go over there. Okay. And that will make people over there even suffer more, because the way that our island, it's like the people who live in our island, the way they're able to maintain, living over there is by tourists. Okay? That's how Israel is set up to be like that, using the leaders of that country. Verse 17, a man shall desire go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the house shall be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. That's what's about to come up on earth. Let's go from there and go to the book of Sirach 10. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 3. And an unwise king destroyeth his people, and through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. You see right now, you're doing that, but eventually you're going to be taken out, and another, the rightful people who are supposed to be ruling the earth are going to come in power, man. So the power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahusha in due time, who set over it one that is profitable, which are who? The Israelites. All right. Let's jump down to verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. That's what has to happen. Okay, for a proper peace to come upon earth, man. Okay. Let's go from there and get the last precept. Romans. There was more things I was gonna tap into, but I think I'll do another lesson on its own. We just too much information in one video. Not too much, but just I'm gonna bring those other things on its own. This is the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 22. It says, for we know that the whole earth for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Right? Let's go here in NLT. It says, for we know that all creation has been groaning as in the pains of childbirth right to the present time. That's what you see happening right now. Everybody's going through it. Okay? Because who's ruling? Esau. See? Let me read verse 19. It says, for the earnest. Let me start from verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us, going into the man of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the true believers, man. The sufferings we're going through right now is not going to be comparable once the kingdom is given. Okay? So this right here is nothing. Okay? As the scripture says, for the earnest expectation of a creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. In the NLT says, for the earnest expectation of the creation eagerly waits for the revealing of the sons of God, going into the elect to be what? To come in power. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, starting with Yahweh Shai, and also to the rest the 144,000, but by reason of him who have subject the same in hope. In the NLT says, against its will all creation was subject to God is cursed, but with eager hope. All right, it starts with Yahweh Shai and going to the rest of the Israelites. Verse 21. It says, because the creation itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. In the NLT, it says, the creation looks forward to the day when it to join God's children in glorious freedom from death and decay. In the AMP, that the creation itself will also be free from its bondage to decay. These lives we're living, okay, terrible. And gain interest into the glorious freedom of the children of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in the pain together until now. There you have it, man. Okay. Verse 23. Not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even ourselves gone within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. For we are saved by hope, but by hope that is sin is not hope. For what man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? But if we hope what we see not, then then do we with passion wait for it. Now I'm not gonna read those. I'm gonna read those in AMP. Let's see. Verse 23 in AMP. Not only these, but we too, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, going into the elect, a joyful indication of the blessings to come. Even we go on inwardly as we wait eagerly for the sign of our adoption as sons. We're waiting for that. And the redemption and transformation of our body. At the resurrection, getting our bodies going to be changed. We're going to become, those man, that was how shot from the beginning, man. Lord willing, I'm of that, okay, or even one of the, a that soul that gets saved from here, even that, man. Lord willing. Verse 24, for in this hope we were saved by faith, but hope, the object of which is seen, is not hope. You see? For who hopes for what he sees, for what he already, for who hopes for what he already sees? Going to the book of faith is Hebrews 11, right? Hebrews 11. Okay. But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait eagerly for it with patience and composure, man. That's right. The things we're hoping for, man, we have no seen and taste none of it. Okay? So, hey, and that's why we're waiting, patiently and eagerly. Eagerly, let me see what that word eagerly really means here. Patiently waiting for. To accept, fully look, wait for it, right? And that's what we are doing, man. Okay, so with that, man, this is been a quick lesson of what's going on over there,
Perished
over here in
there.
Bali. So with that, man, hopefully this was edified to you. I came out there, I say shalom, and I'll probably do another lesson, going into the things that we gotta look forward to, man. Okay, what Esau is really being, plentiful. Okay, so with that, I said shalom, Akim.
The latest